everybody, this is Anna, also known as Anna Nitter on Ravelry, and as always on the screen you can see where you else can find me if you want to be updated when I upload videos or if you want to follow me around on social media. Today is Sunday and it is a very special Sunday for me as a Catholic because I hope it's the right English word, Palm Sunday. My last podcast was 2 weeks ago. This is a knitting podcast, by the way. Well, also about crocheting. And yes, I haven't podcasted the last Sunday just because I didn't want to show you only one object. And I really was only crocheting the last 2 weeks on one project. I finished it, so I have to show you a finished object today, but I started two other objects, so I have content to show you, you know. Okay, I'm just looking down because my dog is there and I don't know if you want to jump on me and destroy the setting. Yes, okay, so I will show you my objects. And maybe at the end I will talk a little bit about the feast we have today. Okay. So, as you know, I have started. So you saw 2 weeks ago in the last episode the started baby blanket, the crochet baby blanket, the rainbow blanket. Well, I have found out now, it is a German pattern, but it relates to an English pattern. I think it's only the German translation made into a crochet along. So in the down bar under this video, you can see the link to the English version if you are interested in making this blanket I'm showing you right now. And I can encourage you to do this because it is so much fun. It is addictive, it is fun, it is not complicated at all, and I call me definitely a beginner crocheter. I made stitches in this blanket I haven't done before, so really you can do this. Okay. It's awesome. It is so pretty. I will show you the half first. So, this blanket is about 90 centimeters in length. No, that was pre-blocking. You will read the measurements on the screen. I will measure it for you because pre-blocking it was 70 by 90 centimeters. Okay, so this was a crochet along 5 years ago. And since I have heard of this blanket 5 years ago, I wanted to make it because, I mean, I think you can see why I wanted to make it. It is so pretty and it looks like so much fun. Back then I wasn't able to crochet because I forgot what I learned at school. At primary school I learned to crochet. And since then I have never crocheted again. And so I knew I wouldn't have been able to crochet this blanket. So it was a crochet along. Yes, they divided the pattern into 13 clues. Back then they did every week 1 clue. Sometimes they did 2 clues per week. So normally they published them on Fridays, and during crocheting and reading online I saw, okay, they released another clue on the next day on Saturday. So it weren't 13 weeks, but it was planned to crochet this blanket over 13 weeks, and I did this blanket in 14 days. So it looks like much work, but it isn't. So, well, it didn't feel like work for me. So, yes, I have made this out of cotton. The ladies who published and hosted the crochet along also have a blog and a shop. I will link their website in the show notes, but it is in German. So I think the shop will be manageable for you, also, although it's not in English, but you can't read their blog. Okay, I bought their kit, and the kit contains, how many colors were that? I have forgotten, I'm sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different colors, of each color 2 balls of 50 gram. So 100 gram per color. But as you can see, I have so much left. And even these tiny little leftovers. Well, that's not so tiny. So you have much left. If you are a crocheter, you can definitely make some fun amigurumis or something else, pot holders or so. I don't know yet what to do with the rest, but I want to crochet more, so I think there will be some nice projects to make out of the leftovers. Okay, 8 different colors made out of 100% cotton, and it is very soft. After working with it and washing and blocking, it is so soft. They have in this pattern, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different special stitches, they call them like that. Most of the blanket is made with in English, so now it's getting difficult because I looked up the English words for the stitches and the British words are different than the US words. Okay, single crochets and double crochets, I think they are called. So the most stitches are very basic, and in between they insert some special stitches like the star stitch, the red, and that was easy. When I saw this, I thought, okay, now I will fail. I will so fail on this project, but no, it's easy. And they explained it very good in their patterns, and they made many photos, so you can't do something wrong. The second and my favorite special stitch from this blanket is the tulip stitch. So you can see here are the leaves, and this is the blossom and the sky and the green grass. That was the most fun, and because it's so awesome, you can create tulips in no time. I love crocheting, really, I love crocheting. Then for them, it was a special stitch. It's a tongue twister. Special stitch. Try to say that fast. It's not easy. The granny stripes. Okay, they come several times in the blanket to give a kind of structure. Then the bobbles. The red bobbles, very easy and much fun, and I can see the baby already playing with them. The next, oh, there's another, I have forgotten. So there were 6 special stitches. The next is this wave stitch, and I messed it up. I did many mistakes and I don't like it. So yeah, that's the only stitch I didn't enjoy, and I don't like the result. So then there's the star stitch again, and the granny stripes, the spike stitch, then here kind of grannies with the border. It's also very pretty, so that we have 8 specials now, sorry. And I even did color work, and it's much easier than in knitting. So these bubbles with color work, so you had to carry the yarn with the orange yarn and then create the bubbles. Grace again. Then this, I don't know how to call this. This is not intarsia, it's 2 rows of crocheting. And at the end, yellow tulips. And then in the 13th clue. They offered you different ways of borders. So the easiest border would have been only the green. Then I decided to do the next step, the blue. So these are half single crochets, I think they are called. And then there were two other add-ons, so to say, and that were in blue picot border, and then like tassels. But I tried to do the picot, and I saw that I would have had to block them quite nice with pins to have a neat finish. And maybe I can do this, but the recipients, after washing this blanket, I think are not interested in blocking every picot with a pin to make this blanket pretty again. So I decided to just keep it that simple, and it is so pretty. Let me step back a bit. And it's really, really huge, I think. So this will be a present for friends who will get their baby. So they have already the baby, but it's still in the mother. I don't like that we say with our words in our language, they will get a baby, because the baby is already there from the beginning, you know. From the beginning it's a baby. The baby will come out, but I think that's not a nice saying. So the baby will enter the earth, or I don't know, in the beginning of June. Yes. So there was no need for hurrying up, but it was so fun. I couldn't put this project aside. I often looked onto my cupboard or so and saw my project bags with my knitting projects, and I thought, oh, I should. And then I realized, Anna, what does it mean you should? You don't have to do nothing, because it's your spare time. There is no you should do something. I enjoyed this blanket, so I decided to work until it was finished. And yes, I decided to, now that I know it's manageable and easy, I decided to do another blanket, this pattern, but in the so double sized, so double width, and then the pattern length twice, but not in the rainbow colors. I want to make it out of blues, whites, and maybe creams or browns, for me, just for me. Also maybe in cotton. I think cotton would be nice. I enjoy to work with cotton, I have to say. Really, I enjoyed it. I am becoming a crocheter. I have never thought that I would enjoy it so much, but I love the process. With crocheting, I can definitely say it's about the process. I'm a process crocheter. With knitting, it's more about the product. I also enjoy the process, but I wouldn't enjoy the process of knitting a project I don't want, or I don't make because I like the project. Sometimes you knit things for others because they like the project, or they like the colors, and if I should do something like that, I wouldn't enjoy the process. So it depends on the project if I enjoy the process. But with crocheting, it's zen. I don't have to have a result at the end. I just like the process, and then you create so beautiful things. Okay, it's awesome. It's so awesome, really. So it will only be a part of a present, or of assembled presents. So my boyfriend and I, we want to assemble some stuff you need as a new dad, mom, and baby. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait to gift this. Really, I can't wait. Okay. After I have finished this, I grabbed my sock bag, one of my favorites, because the shape is awesome and I love the knitting jewelry. And started to knit. Really, I haven't even finished the cuff. I started to knit the second Felici sock in the Limeade colorway. These will be socks for me. And I only did this much. 2.5 millimeter DPNs by Higher Shops. Because Higher Shops rule the world. So, not much, because I have put it aside for a crochet project. It's not that I don't like to knit, but okay, now that I have finished a blanket the first time in my life. I have always wanted to make blankets, and I have blanket projects on my hooks and needles already for so long, but I have never finished a blanket. And finishing this gave me so much drive to start a new designed blanket for me or for the sofa or so, you know, and to finish it at a certain day, you know. Okay, I don't set a goal, I have to finish this blanket until this or that day, but this shouldn't be a long-term project. With a long-term project I mean 2 or 3 years. I want to have this done within a few months. So I have this big box. I show you. Wait. I have this big box of, I think it's sport weight yarn. So it's 6-ply. In sock yarn terms, it would be a 6-ply yarn, not a 4-ply. You knit with 2.5 millimeter needles, but a 6-ply you knit normally with 3.5 to 4 millimeter needles. These yarns I have collected. It's all the same companies, so to say. I have collected over years. Yes, years, because I have told you that our grocery, I never pronounced that right, sorry, grocery shop Aldi, here in Austria it's called Hofer, twice a year have yarn offers, and normally it's this kind of yarn. So this is 75-25, it's not merino, it's really true German sturdy yarn, but it's a very good quality. I have knit many things out of the Hofer Aldi yarn. And back then, maybe let me think. No, I don't think that I can find them so quick. If I find what I want to talk about now, I will insert a photo or video here. I always wanted to have a patchwork blanket. So I wanted to have a granny square blanket, but back then granny squares were like the top of the mountain for me. I have thought I wouldn't be able to make those pretty things, so I decided I only knit garter stitch mitered squares and assemble them as a patchwork blanket. So I knit very many squares and then realized that I will hate to seam them with a darning needle, because I'm not a good seamer, not at all. I didn't know that I could also crochet them together, and I didn't know how this could work. So I had, I think, 20 or 30 squares and realized, okay, Anna, you can't assemble them, so you shouldn't go on. So I put them aside, but all these should have become a blanket, so squares and assembled into a blanket. Then I found out, or I stumbled upon the 10 stitch blanket. So I decided to start this because you don't have to seam anything and you only have always 10 stitches on your needle. So I came that far. It's this yarn I have shown you, and I really like the fabric and the wooliness because it's not this merino softy soft yarn. It's really true warm wool, and I really like that for blankets. But yes, it takes so long, and then it will become a square, and yes, I stopped knitting on this 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Yes, so, and since then, this started blanket and this box, in this box with all this yarn, is up on my cupboard. And yes, I always look upon that and think, oh Anna, this much yarn, and it's a really good and pretty yarn, and you don't do anything with it, but you want to make a blanket, and I haven't found a pattern for me which would work for me, so that I enjoy the process and don't have to seam that much. Okay, and now I can crochet. I didn't want to make a granny stripe because I'm already doing a leftover granny stripe, and that would be boring, I guess, because only granny stripe is very, very boring, and I wouldn't finish this blanket again. So now I watched a tutorial again by the glorious Claudetta Crochet. Really, she's awesome. She is awesome. With her you can do anything. I can crochet everything with her guidance. It's awesome. And I started to make these simple, very simple granny squares. You know, not with patterns and color changing, only simple granny squares. And they will be framed and blocked like this one. And afterwards I will crochet them together with a, I think it's called, no, it's not the chain stitch, it's, sorry. Now I don't know, maybe you could help me. Should I use the British or the American words crochet wise? For the British English speaking viewers, would you understand if I use the American words? Because I haven't learned them yet, just because I don't know how to deal with the two different terms for every stitch, British and American. So okay, I will crochet them in a very easy way together at the end. And this is very manageable and it's actually fun. It's not like seaming, it's just fun. So this is what I have done so far. But I realized, so I did some math and I realized that I don't have enough of the white for the amount of squares I want to frame. So I ordered some 6-ply Regia, and so this is this yarn, this is this yarn, but I will unravel the white frame and do it again with the Regia and do the whole blanket with the Regia, because in that case I can really do a big, huge blanket. This should become about 140 by 200 centimeters, and that would be 70 squares, because they are 20 by 20. Yeah. And it's fun. It is so much fun. If I get bored by a color, I will just take another one and crochet. And it is, I already have woven in the ends. And it is so easy. It is so, well, it's easy, like the granny stripe, because it's the same stitch. But because of the shape and not crocheting stripes, I have always something to do at the corners. You know, you always do the same, and then at the corner you have to do something different. And I'm doing 4 rounds, and before getting bored, I finish it. You know, it's for me the perfect project. It's portable because you don't have this big huge blanket, and you can just pick the colors you enjoy at the moment. So I think the blanket will be only made out of these colors. I would also have red, black and blue, but yes, I don't, so red and black wouldn't match, I think, and the only one which would fit would be the blue. And from the blue color I only have these, and this would make 5, 6, about 7 squares. So maybe. So 1 square only in the first color weighs 11 gram, and with the border it's, oh sorry, so yes, only the gray weighs 11 gram and the border weighs 7 gram. I have weighed it so that I can calculate how much I need. So 1 square weighs 18 gram, it's 20 by 20 centimeters, and I will do about, I could do with all the yarn I have 94 squares, but I think I will do 70, so I can do 7 by 10. So yes, I have 140 by, yeah, about 140 by 200. That would be a good size. Yeah. This is really, really, really much fun. I can so recommend this. I mean, look at this. It's just pretty. And that let me overthink. Is it the right word? Oh, here's the started, the second green. My other blanket, so the 10-stitch blanket. I don't know if I should go on or if I should just do a crocheted mini square blanket. But now I have finished 3 blocks and 1 is nearly finished. That would be a shame to not use it. Maybe I should make pillows out of the squares. That wouldn't be a problem, so I would use them. I have still to think about it, but I think crocheting and blanket belong together because it's quick, it's easy, it's fun. And I don't really enjoy the process of knitting my Stitch in Time blanket. It's not much fun anymore because of the knitted cast on and then picking up stitches and all that jazz. It's not so much fun. I think I have already decided at the moment, right now. I think I will sew pillows out of them. Okay. Maybe I have a new minis project in the next episode. Yeah, so this blanket will get unraveled and I can use this color also. And that's really fun. It is really, really, really much fun. Yes, so let me think. No, these were all my projects I have on the needles and hooks at the moment. So as I said, today is Palm Sunday, so it's the beginning of the most holy week of the year, of the whole year. So as I told you maybe already in earlier episodes, my most favorite time of the year is Lent and Easter time. Yes, I like Christmas and Advent and make it cozy and being together with friends and family and, you know, present exchanging and so on. But for me as a Christian, it's definitely Lent and Easter. And I say Lent and Easter because we haven't started the Easter time yet. So the time before Easter really is so rich and full of traditions and liturgy and awesome readings in our lectures, and they are totally different to the Easter liturgy and scriptures and so lectures and so on. So as with Advent and Christmas, there is a difference, and this difference seems to fade away in the public opinion. So, and in the background you can see my blessed palms. So it's not, here in Austria they use these, I don't know how you call them. In Austria they are called, I always have to think because I don't want to say squirrel, because it's similar to the word squirrel, and I can't pronounce it, sorry, in German. So they are Palmkätzchen. So word by word, I always like to translate the things from foreign languages word by word, because it's sometimes funny. It would be palm kitten, so, or palm kitties. So like baby cats, because they are so soft, I guess. And in German we say Weidekätzchen. I don't know what Weide is in English. You can read the screen, but again the second word would be kitty. I think it's because they are so soft. And then normally you find in Latin it's Buxus, Buchsbaum in German, I don't know how you call it, but I think you will call it Buxus or Buxus or so, I don't know. And the smell of this, for me, is the smell of Easter. Because so where I come from, we assemble these totally different, but the idea is the same. You assemble these flowers and green stuff, take it to church on Palm Sunday, and then it gets blessed. And you do that because Jesus was entering Jerusalem, and the people were swaying with palm leaves and praised them as their king. Unfortunately, a few days later they killed him, so that there was no Hosanna anymore, Hosanna, the son of David, they said on Palm Sunday. And unfortunately the Friday after that they decided, oh no, he's not our king, we will kill him. Okay, the times changes very quick, and the opinion of people change very quick. So that's the reason why I don't give a shh on the opinion of other people's. So I do what I'm convinced of, and what they say, I don't care. Not only this, you can learn from Palm Sunday. So they yes, they were swaying the palm leaves when Jesus was entering Jerusalem on a donkey. Donkey? I hope it's a donkey. Yeah, I think. And we do, in liturgy, we always not only remember what happened 2000 years ago, but it's like a very holy acting ceremony. It's like a theater, but in the moment we do this, it's like it is now. It's like stepping into a time machine, which brings us back into the year of 30 after Christ or so. So liturgy is not only listening to some lectures and remembering, oh, it was so hard back then, and wow, Jesus did such a great job on rescuing our souls. It's really, we are in that moment when we do that, and when we hear the scriptures, and when we sway our palms. So it's so liturgy for me is very important. It is the most important thing in a Christian's, or I should better say in a Catholic's life, because I don't know how the other Christians, it's also a tongue twister, value the liturgy. But for us as Catholics, it is the center of everything, you know. So, and today when the priests entered the church and we did the procession, I nearly cried. It's always the same because it is so festive, and where I celebrate the liturgy is very, very special. It's where I studied, and it is a big monastery with a long tradition, and you can feel the spirit of this tradition. It's life, you know, it's alive. It's not only history, it's real, and you can feel it, and you can grab, you can touch it. It's, yeah, maybe you think I'm crazy, I don't know, but liturgy is everything. Really, it's everything for me. Yeah. It's the moment when earth and heaven touch each other. Yeah. That describes a good liturgy the best, I think. And it was every Palm Sunday we hear the Passion of Christ out of the New Testament, sung by the priest and his ministries. And it is so special and precious to hear this holy story sung, not only read. It is so touching, and it is so special. Yes, and it's every Palm Sunday. And on Good Friday, they do it again. But on Good Friday, they always sing the Passion after the, how can I pronounce it right? Evangelist? I hope that was right. John. And on Palm Sunday, they always Matthew or Luke or Mark. So one of these three. That changes every year. But on Good Friday, they read John's Passion. Yes, and so the next big and important liturgy will be on Thursday, and I can't await it. And really, the church is very cold. I think we had negatives in the church, I would guess. And although I was wearing my snow cloud cardigan and my Ho Hello Kitty wrap and my hand knit socks, I was freezing cold. I wasn't able to feel my feet. They were like dead. So on Thursday, I definitely need more layers. Yeah. Oh yes. And what I was going to say. These we assemble in a very different way. Maybe I can insert a photo. And my mom and my dad took us as children, and many of these, I think we always made 13 to 18 or so, and we brought them to our relatives and to give them something freshly blessed, so to say. That was our tradition in northern Germany. Well, I don't know if it is in whole northern Germany, but where I come from, in the surrounding villages and cities, we do that. So we, after the Sunday Mass, the Palm Sunday Mass, we will take all these blessed things and yeah, we'll share them with our relatives. And then we always received a lot of candy. So I have to say, Palm Sunday was way better than Easter Sunday for me as a child, because I received much more candy. Because you have to imagine, I shared about 13, 15 or 18 of these things, and for each I was receiving candy. So you can imagine how huge the heap of candy was. But the difficult thing about that was I came home in the late evening, because it took the whole day to spread all these. And on Monday, the Lent was there again, because we don't fast on Sundays, needless to say, I think. But this last week towards the, before the Sunday, the Easter Sunday, it's the heaviest week regarding fasting. So that was always a bit difficult. So you had all this candy in your children's room, and then you weren't allowed to eat it. Had to wait for Easter Sunday. But I have very, very good memories, and it was it is a very nice tradition we have in northern Germany. The Austrians don't do that, unfortunately. But yeah. And smelling this green stuff, buxus, I don't know how you call it, throws me back into my childhood. That is my Easter smell. So this green stuff smells like Easter. Yeah, so I will end here just because I don't want to fill my podcast only with blathering, just because not having many projects. I so hope you have a lovely Palm Sunday, and I hope you already have spring. We actually have, but it's still cold, but the sun is out. And yes, I wish you a happy knitting, crocheting, let's say crafting time in general. And I'm looking forward to read from you and hear from you. So we will see each other next week. Bye bye.